Fanjuan, good morning.
Good morning, Clément.
Thank you very much for being here today with us at AI for AI conference. That's the second edition of this conference organized by Ardian. And the objective of the conference is to basically help the portfolio companies of Ardian, but also our partners, the whole ecosystem, understand how AI can create value for the business. And one of the ways to do it is to showcase what we do and more importantly, what our portfolio companies. So you are leading technology at Prosol, and today we're going to share your journey, long and very successful, I must say.
Thank you.
Data journey that you've been leading at Prosol.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this second AI Cross AI conference, because this is the second consecutive year that I have the privilege to join, to share, and to learn. So I really look forward to discuss with you and to learn from the peers, from their experience, to benchmark so that we can better progress and to better use AI and data to create value for the company.
And how about Prosol?
Well, Prosol is a very amazing company. It has a long history, passionate by the quality and taste of fresh food. Mm-hmm. So Prosol is a specialist of fresh food, starting from fruits and vegetables, and progressively move to the cheese, and then fish, and then to the meat, and to the different kind of categories. So today the group is generating more than 4 billions of euros per year, presenting more than 400 stores under the different kind of brands in the different kind of countries. But not only that, we have strong teams to master the supply chain. Yeah. We have a very strong procurement team, transformation team, logistics team, all this for the quality of products.
It doesn't sound like a tech company, but maybe you can tell us the type of data you have, on which areas, on which topic you are data rich.
Sure. First of all, I think for quite a long time, the company is obsessed by the quality of our product that we produce and that we procure. But recently, I would say a couple of 2-3 years ago, the company decided to accelerate the development by putting technology as an enabler of the growth. So a lot of investment has been made, new profiles have been recruited, so that we try to put more and more, kind of core ERPs, AI data into our business, because the top leaders of our company, they understand fully the importance of data in the business decision. Yeah. So this is a huge transformation that they sponsor, they support, and they trust.
And maybe you can share with us some of, I know your I would say your product catalog in terms of data product catalog is very rich. Maybe you can share with us some data products or data use cases that you have live at Prosol.
Okay. First of all, I think you are totally right. If we don't have a high quality of data, it's not possible to work on use cases. So basically, we have created a very good infrastructure, okay, covering, recovering, and also transporting all this data and put it into our data lake. And we have a system of 3 levels, bronze, silver, and golden data. Mm-hmm. Bronze data are raw data. Yeah. Silver data are transformed data that has been already cleaned, but they need to be enriched. And then the golden data is the enriched data, which can be ready for the use cases. Okay. And on top of that, we also have the data governance tool and data catalog to measure the quality and to make sure that the definition, the roles are correctly documented. And then it transferred to the use cases. When we have the good quality of data, we have a couple of family of use cases. Mm-hmm. The first family of use cases are the final products, which are the dashboards, the reports, helping our stores, our logistics platforms, our factories to steer the performance of their day-to-day activity.
Every function has this own dashboard?
Yes, we have created workspaces dedicated to each function.
Yeah.
We have role-based security so that each person have dedicated access to the report that they have been entitled to. So this is first kind of product that we create, final reports.
Yeah.
For departments which are more autonomous, who wants to go further in their data exploration, we help them to create by themselves their semantic models and their data set.
Okay.
So this happens in a couple of departments where they have data profiles. So ours, instead of creating dashboards for them, we create semantic models and data sets for them.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the second level.
And then just to make sure I understand well, they are autonomous then in basically dealing with this data and extracting the information and the insights they want from it.
Indeed, they are autonomous, and it's a quite interesting journey. And this is one of our strategic objective.
Yeah.
We would like our business units to be autonomous in the usage of data. So that's quite a fair comment.
To go to the how you manage to train these business teams on data. But sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
It was on the various types of data products.
It's quite an interesting comment because we organized a different kind of trainings.
Yeah.
Like Power BI trainings, like different kind of trainings, helping the business team to take by themselves the tools. Yeah. And you can see how impressed they are when they see that they can do all these kind of things by themselves and not only relying on some experts.
Yeah. So that's amazing.
Yeah. One of the philosophies that we want to put in hand is that we want like that the data is accessible and also usable for teams, whichever their business and whichever their educational background. So this is one of our philosophy. And if we go a little bit further, for the teams who want to go even further, not only to have descriptive and explanative data, they want to have prescriptive and predictive things. So we work hand in hand with them to build models, like predictive models, optimization models, assortment optimization, price elasticity. We have different kind of use cases co-developed by them and with them. And to finish is that there are some use cases which might require a very consolidated and high-level coordination at the group level. For these kind of use cases like the Gen AI use cases like chatbot and all this kind of thing. So we produce in collaboration with different kind of business units so that we have different products in place.
Impressive. No, I like very much the idea that one of your goals is to put the data in the hands of the operational teams.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great vision, and I believe that should be a goal for any company, and for sure for the Ardian portfolio companies. So I love that. Maybe if we get a little bit into I would say the technology, it looks like you have a lot of use cases. How, as basically the person in charge, the leader of the team in charge of tech at Prosol, how do you ensure that your infrastructure is at the right level of performance, but also of security to handle all that, this quantity of data and this quantity of use cases and this quantity of users? So how do you scale your infrastructure? Did you build a huge infrastructure in the beginning, or do you have, are you scaling it? I mean, how do you approach it?
Yes, thank you for your question. I think, first of all, when we started our journey, we have to, first of all, review our legacy.
Yeah.
We do have quite of old-fashioned systems which are performing very well, but it cannot be scaled very easily, and it cannot fit into the new use cases. So the first question is to make a good inventory of this kind of technologies and try to make a strategy. Should we keep it? Should we improve it? Or should we get rid of it? So that's very important, because we have a very pragmatic philosophy, is that we cannot break something that works. Yeah. So if we want to break it, we have to make sure that there are something better to make sure the continuity of the service. The second thing that we try to do is to choose the right talent. Yeah. Because in all the journeys, the most important is people. Yeah. So in this journey, we identified the infrastructure manager. We identified the data platform manager. We identified also a couple of business users working together so that we will be able to design from the beginning what would be the future IT infrastructure is needed in terms of data ingestion, data transformation, storage, computing, governance, and in the end, visualization and modelization. So all these kind of things are worked with anticipation because it's our philosophy to prepare the infrastructure a little bit in advance than the business. Otherwise, we are going to be a little bit in a rush and the choice might not be optimized.
This can be a challenge.
Yeah,
the infrastructure following up on the usage.
It's hard. Yeah,
some cases that can be.
Yeah, maybe I would like also to add two little elements on this infrastructure topic. We try to put in place a concept is that cybersecurity by design. Governance and cybersecurity by design, because in a lot of cases, even in our organization before, we develop a product and we submit to the cybersecurity team in my organization, and they will tell me, oh, sorry, Fanjuan, this one is not compliant, this one is not banned, you have to rework. So I tell the team that work on the product and the team who is managing the cybersecurity, I said, let's work together from the beginning. So cybersecurity becomes a concept and also implementable actions in the product design. Example can be BI tools. In the BI tools, we, in the beginning, clearly specify the governance of workspace, the governance of role, the governance of the capability to share should be integrated when the tool is in place.
Very interesting. Let's repeat about people and starting with the top of the leadership. So you as tech leader, what type of support do you have from the business leaders, from CEO, but also from the heads of BU? How is your collaboration with this group of people?
Okay, so I think it's a kind of a combination of governance and personal relationship.
Yeah,
both should work. Let's start with the governance. In our company, we try to, it's a joint effort of everyone. We try to govern our tech topics in 4 levels, but I will go very quickly.
But that's interesting because I think you have an extremely structured approach. So I think it's very useful for the people who listen to you to basically understand the frameworks and the structures you use. Also, feel free to get it.
Okay, and feel free to challenge if you find something that we can improve. Feel free, please. Well, the 4 levels are, first of all, portfolio.
Yeah.
Portfolio means that all the tech topics related to a business unit. So we have a governance with the business unit head regularly. So that we review the priorities, we track the progress, and we make decisions collectively. The second level is program. A program is a collection of tech topics which might be transversal and impactful for a couple of business units. Yes. It's not as strategic as a portfolio, but it's quite important. For example, if we are developing a chatbot, it might interest several services and teams. So if we mutualize some needs and some requirements, we will be faster in deployment and we will be more relevant. And so this is the programs, and we have program leaders trying to talk to different BUs, presenting the prototypes, inspiring people, and collecting the feedback so that when we develop products, it's more relevant. The third level is very classic projects, so I'm not going to go into the details. And last but not least, we build, we transfer, we operate, so we also have tickets and tasks. So if the IT solutions doesn't work, they come to us, we handle the tickets. So these are the 4 levels. So thanks to these 4 levels of governance with our business leaders, we have transparency and we have efficiency. In the same time, myself and my teams, we all try to create personal relationships with the business leaders, try to understand what's their priority, try to understand how they operate their business. We put a very important focus that we mobilize ourselves to their sites, working with them in their sites, talking to them on a day-to-day basis so that we understand better. So this kind of relationships helps when sometimes we need to better understand the priorities. And so I think that it's a kind of a combination of
and I think this mix of a very structured approach and a common vocabulary, and people know what is what, as well as his personal relationship that probably makes problem solving easier.
Yes.
Is the golden combination.
I totally agree. Yes.
Fantastic. Question on the teams. Obviously, we talked about the leadership. How about the daily users? Have you organized training? How do you ensure that they basically understand the data products that you guys are building? And how do you make sure that they have the right skills to use these products?
Okay. Well, I think on this point, we are still in the middle of a journey, so we still can improve a lot. What we do...
Prosol is a big company. You have many employees. So
yes.
It's a people heavy.
Yes, exactly. We have more than 9,000 employees today, and they are from different professions.
Yeah.
They have different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for every people to have the same level of comprehension of technology.
Yeah.
This is not what we try to do. So I think the first philosophy is that I tell my people, my colleagues working on the IT is saying that, imagine that if finance people talking about their jargons and all this kind of thing to you on a daily basis, can you really adapt to their proposition and product? It will be hard. Yeah. So let's do the same. Let's try to avoid too many jargons and very specific IT kind of stuff to our people. Let's simplify. Let's use metaphor. Let's use images. Let's use easy ways. Yeah. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that when we design our tools, let's try to be more user-centric. Yeah. So try to make the tool by design easier to understand, easier to use, even for those who doesn't speak French. Yeah. I was very impressed by one of our operational director. He's managing stores. He told me that, Fanjuan, we are employing people who doesn't speak French. Mm-hmm. It's very quite often that people cannot speak French, but they still need to use the tool. Yeah. So how can they use the tool how can you help us to design some tools which is independent from the French language? Yeah. This is very interesting things that I ask also to my team. We try to work on that. Now, if we say that we try to adapt ourselves, the tool is simplified, it doesn't mean that people will buying it naturally. Yeah. So now it comes to transformation, training, and so on this point, we try to do two things. One is that we do training with anticipation. Mm-hmm. For example, like data.
Again, anticipation.
And anticipation, yes. Yeah. Topics like data and AI, yeah. We give different levels of trainings to the team quite long ago, and we repeat this kind of training to them. So even if they do not have day-to-day experience to this topic, they already heard it from the news, they heard it from their partners. Now we give the training to them. This makes the things more concrete. Yeah. And then when we develop tools and we deploy tools, we do have a lot of transformation workshops whereby we present how it works. And when we do that, I still remember there's one thing that I did recently. We want to deploy some BI reports and tools to a department who told me that, I just want my PDF, I just want my Excel because it's so easier. I didn't say no, but I said, maybe you give us a chance to show you something differently. But before doing that, what I do, we try to talk to the head of this business unit, try to convince him. Yeah. So when he creates a workshop with us, he became our sponsor. Yeah. He is also there promoting the tool with us. Yeah. So it's much easier. Yeah. So that's one of the things. And I was very appreciative to this business unit leader who is taking this role. And it helps a lot. So when we present our BI tool to the users, and they totally get PDF and Excel rid of, because they say, I don't realize how convenient and efficient the tool can be. I think this is one of our role, because sometimes we can't ask people to imagine something which they have never seen. Sometimes we have to be, let's say, a little bit more in the way of pioneer, try to be ambassador, trying to convince, trying to represent this kind of technology so that people, when they see it, they can adopt it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Recognize it's useful and then
yeah.
adopt it.
Yeah.
that's a nice story. The idea of I want my please make my PDF and well, give me a chance of changing your mind. That's
Indeed.
maybe one word on collaboration with Ardian. How and hopefully has helped you. If yes, in what way?
Well, I first of all would like to really appreciate your support and all the support from Ardian on the data in AI journey. I think the collaboration is quite interesting from both a strategic and operational level. On the strategic point of view, you give us a lot of support overall on the direction. We are defining all the priorities together, and we are part of your first members in the data and AI maturity assessment.
Yes,
That's really interesting. Maybe you can also highlight a little bit on this topic for the data AI maturity.
Well, one thing that we have built and that we have tested with you, because you've gone a long journey and you are very sophisticated today. So I think we thought that Prosol would be a great company to test this data readiness assessment model that we've put in place. And this is basically a set of questions that we ask to, of course, tech people, but also business people at our portfolio companies to obviously understand where they are with data, both technically, but also in terms of use cases, in terms of business, in terms of tech infrastructure. And then from there, be able to design with them their journey and where and how they could improve. So we believe that this tool is very useful to increasing the data maturity of our companies. And your support and your feedback on this tool was super useful. So thank you very much for that.
And for us, it's quite a useful tool because we can not only benchmark to ourselves in the journey, but also benchmark to the other portfolio companies so that we know if our auto assessment is really reality or it's different. So this is quite interesting. The benchmark is always something which add a lot of value. On the strategic part, I also appreciate that we regularly review our priorities on a quarterly basis and also our budget. Your team and you give us a lot of useful suggestions on how to prioritize our technology investment. And so for this, a quite interesting collaboration. And then on the operational part, I think this is also quite impressive. I think, first of all, Ardian connect us to a very large pool of experts, partners who are providing softwares, who are providing expertises. You are helping us to get also the very good deal arrangements. So all these kind of things are helping us to use the least budget to maximize the results. So this is a very, very useful help. And on top of that, we launched, I remember, a couple of projects together. You have Gaia, and we are inspired from Gaia, and we worked with you on based on your suggestions on Prosol GPT and based on Botravi, our own chatbot tools, which saves us a lot of time. Because you have already gone through all the journeys, so you know what are the optimizations that can be used for. And when our engineers and myself have interviews with you, we save time thanks to your experience. So this kind of operational collaborations are very helpful. And last but not least, I still remember that Ardian is working with the schools and the best class schools on student projects. Yeah. And we have the privilege to be chosen and to be part of this journey, supporting with the schools on the projects that we are interested, and also with the help of Ardian. So this is also very interesting because the results delivered by the students become part of our inspirations to work on pricing elasticity to project. Yeah.
No, and I think basically what the various examples you gave are, well, I like them very much. The things that illustrate very well the support we try to bring, which goes from strategy, effort, and budget allocation, but also very practical, very pragmatic on basically people, providers, tips, experience sharing. And I take this opportunity to thank you for your very active participation into the various experience sharing events that we organize, where we try to have portfolio companies, obviously not competing and kind of part of the same family.
Yes.
Meet, talk together, and learn one from the other. And the objective being that with Ardian, you go faster and more efficiently than you would alone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Clément.